Alright, so I'm responding to a video from Frisbees and Flip-Flops. This is the first video I've replied to, so she gave a situation basically about dealing with a theist, as her being an atheist in the workplace, and wanted others to address any experiences they've had when put in that kind of a situation. So I actually had a situation a couple of months ago. Now I recently moved back in to Mesa, Arizona. I don't know how it is for the rest of the United States, but in Mesa it's a very Mormon-centric town. Now, I have nothing against the Mormons. Mesa, Arizona was founded by the Mormons, and it's a pretty big area. So, it's not uncommon to see the Mormon missionaries riding around, and I like to take a lot of walks, especially during the summertime when it's nice and hot outside. I know, I'm crazy. So anyways, I was going for a walk in the middle of the day, and some missionaries were on their bikes riding around, and they kind of come up to me, and I give them a simple comment. It's like, can you believe this heat outside? And they're basically wearing black pants and a white shirt, and I can't imagine it's very comfortable for them. So we talk about the weather. We're actually talking about the weather, and their job is to try to talk about religion with people. So, and I want to be polite. I don't want to come off as, oh, I'm an atheist, so you shouldn't talk to me. I'm very polite and cordial with them. So, I'm like, well, are you familiar with the Mormons? Are you familiar with the Book of Mormon? I'm like, oh yes, I'm very familiar with it. Well, they still go into the explanation of what the Book of Mormon is and who the Mormons are and all of this, and it's like, I just told you that I already knew, so you don't need to explain to me again. But I let them say what they wanted. I'm being nice, I'm being cordial. After they explained the Book of Mormon to me, they asked me what I thought about Jesus Christ and about stuff like that, and I'm like, well, it's all about practice what you preach. If you practice what you preach, I have nothing but respect for you. And they say, well, how are you on religion? I don't remember what they said exactly, but they were basically asking that question. How did I feel about all of that? And I'm like, well, I'm not very religious. In fact, I'm not really religious at all. I'm like, oh, okay, so well, what do you think on the idea of us coming to your house and discussing the Bible and the Book of Mormon with you? Well, I was trying to be polite. I didn't want to come off and say I was an atheist. Not that I'm ashamed of who I am, I just don't want them to be put off. I was just trying to be polite and just say, well, this is not me, this is not what I'm about. I can talk to you friendly, but it's not me. But they pushed the issue, so finally I said, well, when I said that I'm not religious, I was actually meaning that I'm an atheist. And there was the uncomfortable silence there. So, to end the conversation that I had with the missionaries, I basically wished them a good day. They had to go off and do whatever it is that they do. And I wasn't really trying to put them into an uncomfortable place. I was just trying to have a general conversation with them, something of mutual between us, such as the weather. And so it was a little difficult to deal with, and I wasn't trying to just come out and be a jackass to them. I was trying to be polite. I'm hoping that they walked away from that situation. It's like, even though that guy's an atheist, he's still a pretty upstanding person. Maybe one day we'll see him again. certainly in the back of their minds, they would like to try to convince me to come to their church and try to show me all of the joys of Christianity and specifically Mormonism, but I feel good that, I had a nice conversation with someone. I didn't even really see them as being missionaries. I just saw them as two people wearing black pants in the middle of the sun. So I hope that answers your question and how I dealt with that situation.